Do you believe in love at first sight? Wait, let me help you answer that question. Wow, truly a head turner, isn't it? This is the only factory made chopper style motorcycle. There are no modifications, I have not customized it. This is exactly how it came out of the factory. And just for that, to Honda. Just look at it, it's so beautiful. The tank, the color, the lines across the tank, the extended headlight, it looks so beautiful and completely mesmerizing. Really, a very beautiful motorcycle.
Okay, Faraz, that's enough. It's a beautiful motorcycle. Can we have the specs now?
My friend, I cannot believe you ask for the specs. Isn't the beauty of the motorcycle enough? But anyway, for the viewers, let me take it forward from here. The 300 kilo Honda Fury in blue color. It has a wheelbase of 1.8 meters, which is one of the longest motorcycles you will find. The front tire is pretty narrow at 90 mm in width. The sidewall is at 90%, around 3.1 inches. The wheel size is 21 inches with a load index of 54, and it gets a speed rating of H, which means you can travel with the speed of up to 209 kilometers per hour. Both front and rear get hydraulic disc brakes with ABS, but that cannot be turned off. As for the rear tire with a width of 200 mm, it is more than double the size of the front. It has a sidewall at 50%, which is around 3.9 inches, the wheel size of 18 inches with the load index of 76. Now this also gets the speed rating of H. Both the tires are tubeless by Dunlop. Now just taking a closer look at the rear brake caliper. The rear hydraulic suspension comes with spring preload adjustment that can be used for varying weights. The front also gets hydraulic suspension, and the forks look very long, again because of the long wheelbase, giving that excellent chopper look. So this is where the ignition switch is, and the key comes with a coded chip inside. It works with the HISS system, that is the Honda Ignition Security System, which prevents the engine from starting if a fake key is used. Now I have not tested it, but that is how HISS is supposed to work, and I think it's an excellent security feature. When you turn the ignition on, you see the ABS light glow. The display console is very basic with an analog speedometer and a small digital odometer. The button below the console lets you select and reset with long press the trip A and trip B readings. It also gets a clock, which is a very useful feature to have. I love this strip of lights below the console which glow up only when they need to. Like this is for the right indicator. There is one for the malfunction of the engine or the fuel injection system, but you cannot see it now. There is one for the left indicator. This is for low fuel. One for the high beam, and this one for high coolant temperature. Now, mind you, there is no fuel gauge, which means you will have to wait for the low fuel indicator to glow, telling you it's time for refueling. But it has enough reserve capacity, around 2.5 liters, which can take you approximately 40 kilometers. The extended headlight, which is adding to its chopper looks, gets a 12 volts halogen bulb with 55 watts for low beam and 60 watts for high beam. I understand this is not the right time to show its power. I really like these big sharp turn signal lights, which get 12 volt and 21 watts bulb each, and the same go at the rear end as well. Now moving on to my favorite part of the motorcycle, this sleek, well-crafted, long fuel tank. It gets a capacity of 12.9 liters, and trust me, the paint on this is spot on. The fuel cap is a traditional one which comes off fully when opened and not stick to the tank. The seat is big and comfortable. I have not had any issues riding even longer distances. But it has been placed very low to do justice to its chopper looks and enhance it further. There is the option of adding a backrest if you want for those really long rides. The rear seat looks small, but I have been told that it's very comfortable. I have not sat there myself, but that's the feedback I got. And this tail light is very, very attractive with those LED lights. Now this side of the motorcycle gets a lot of chrome adding to its chopper essence, starting from these exhaust pipes to this massive chunk which is all chromed up and is the heart of the motorcycle, which is the 52 degree V-twin 1312cc liquid cooled engine. Just look how thoughtfully this part has been left empty and chopped off to give that clean and neat look to the engine. It has been set up with SOHC, which is the single overhead camshaft that produces better low-end torque and increases the fuel efficiency. To give you some numbers, it churns out a max power of 57 HP with 107 Newton meters torque. Now that's some power for a relaxed, enjoyable cruising. The best part about this motorcycle is that it is shaft driven, so I don't have to worry about maintaining and cleaning a chain, buying the cleaners, the lubricants and doing it all myself. This is almost maintenance free, as Honda would replace the final drive oil if required during the regular services. There is this lovely helmet holder with the lock that uses the same ignition key. The holder pin should be pushed inside to enable the lock and the key to be turned anti-clockwise to unlock. Now isn't that sweet? Now let's listen to the engine and the exhaust pipes. But this is something I want to change because I'm not very happy with the sound from the stock exhausts. Like, come on, is this a 1300cc engine? I need more sound, and this massive engine deserves to be heard from long distance. So I have looked up some options, and the most famous exhaust pipes for this bike are called Cobra. I'm strongly considering them, but not anytime soon. This is a separate key for the handlebar lock that goes in just like this. I initially struggled to locate the toolbox, and they have placed it under this box here, which has 3 pins around it that pop out just like this. It's easy to put them back as well. So this is the engine oil filler cap. Right next to it is the coolant reserve tank, and each cylinder gets dual spark plugs. Oh, and the side stand kills the engine if you shift the gear to 1 without taking it off. So that's again a nice safety feature. With that, my dear friends, I have hopefully covered all the specs of the 2020 Honda Fury. Some of my friends told me that I made a bold move of going with a chopper, a motorcycle this big, mainly because I'm not a very tall person. So does this really create a problem for me while riding? Will I have any reachability issues? Let me quickly hop on and show you. So first of all, as you can see, both my feet are totally planted onto the ground, so there's no problem there. And I don't feel the weight of the motorcycle. It has been so amazingly distributed across the length of the motorcycle that it feels very light, so there's no problem there. And talking about the handlebar and the sitting posture, with my feet completely pushed forward, I think this is the most comfortable position to ride any motorcycle. You feel like as if you're sitting on a chair very comfortably. So let me take you on a ride now and we'll talk further. All right, folks, let's begin. So as soon as you start moving, the first thought that comes to your mind is, Whoa. Handling this motorcycle is way too different as compared to a traditional motorcycle on which you just hop on and start riding. But for this one, you need to get adjusted. You also think whether you'll be able to move this beast in the direction that you want. Again, because the front wheel is pushed so much ahead, it almost feels like it's on a different planet altogether. That's a lot of exaggeration, but you know what I mean. But these are just initial thoughts, because a few minutes into riding and a few turns, you start realizing that Honda has not made any compromises in its rideability, comfort, and maneuverability. And that's the beauty of going with a trusted brand. Right? This is a chopper, but still there are zero compromises. You get the brand value, you get the good maintenance of the motorcycle, and you also get a quality product with all its reliability. So when you think of a chopper, you think of a lot of modifications and customizations, right? And in the process of which either the comfort or the power or the maintenance gets compromised. But not with this one. Honda has not gone wrong. Right from the first gear, you feel the power of this huge engine, and it urges you to pull the throttle and just push forward and use all the juice it's got. The engine is so smooth and crisp. Wow, this is pure bliss. There's some work going on here. Looks like they're painting this thing. Sorry, folks. Okay, so this motorcycle was launched in January 2009, and it's been more than a decade. But I did not know about this bike till I came to UAE, and I saw this first time in the Honda showroom in Dubai when I just walked in to take a look at some other motorcycles, and I happened to see this one and completely fell for it. And that's because back in India I never saw this motorcycle, neither on the roads or in any of the Honda showrooms. So let me hit the highway. I'll get out of this park that I came to record the other part of the video, and once I hit the highway I will go at higher speeds. So talking about the riding posture, again, as I showed already, my feet are pushed forward, a very comfortable position to sit and ride. One thing I'm not very happy about are these mirrors, because they don't really enhance the looks of the bike, and that is why I might change them in the future. But otherwise they do the job well. I mean, they're sturdy and of good quality. It's just that I don't like how they look. So again, if you see, the seat is very low, and the road clearance is also good enough to tilt and turn, and that's the initial thought I got, right? So since you feel that the seat is very low, you also start thinking that maybe the road clearance is not enough for you to tilt the bike as much as you want. But I'm still getting adjusted because particularly in roundabouts and in sharp bends, I still tend to slow down as much as I can to make those turns, because I'm still not very confident to tilt this motorcycle too much. But yeah, it's just about getting used to it. And the beauty of this tank, you get to see when there is sun rays falling on it, because it glitters. I can now go up to 110 kilometers on this road. And I've already reached that speed. And I still feel that the engine is asking for more. You know, it wants me to throttle more, but I don't want to get a speed fine, because here in Dubai, the speed fines are huge. So now it is 100 kilometers, which means plus 20, so I can reach up to 120. And look at that. Wow. I think cruising on this motorcycle at the speed of 100 to 120 is the sweet spot, I would call it. It's pure pleasure, pure pleasure. And that's the speed camera, the long one, the scary one. The bike feels so stable and planted on the road. And cruising at 120 is, as I said, pure pleasure. Okay, so let me see if I can show you the top speed that I have touched on this bike. I've already done around 1,300 kilometers, and the top speed that I touched was 170 kilometers per hour. I'm not sure if I can show it to you here, but let me give it a try. Here we go. So I hope that was captured on the camera, because I don't really like doing this always, you know, pushing the bike to its maximum level, because this one is mainly for cruising, right? To enjoy a very relaxed, laid back cruising at the speed of 100 to 120. And that's when you enjoy the ride on these kind of motorcycles. And I have always loved cruisers, cafe racers and bloggers. I've never been into sports bikes. So that is why probably I feel that this motorcycle did not fare that well, because there's a major group of bikers that is into sports motorcycles. And apart from that group, there's another major group of bikers that whenever they hear cruisers, they think Harley Davidson. But this one is amazing, amazing. It has the looks, it has the power, it has the comfort, and it is excellent for cruising at these speeds. I'm completely enjoying this ride. So in the roundabouts, I initially had this feeling that, you know, I would touch the ground and fall off, but it's all about getting used to it. Because this thing turns really well, and it bends also really well. You wouldn't expect, but it does. Here's another roundabout. See, I'm bending this so much and still handles really well. I tried a bit of off-roading as well on these roads. This motorcycle is not meant for off-roading, but it still handled really well. I hope you liked the video and the motorcycle. If you did, hit that like button and I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care.